A lot of people won't like hearing this, but it needs to be said. You can own many assets and still be poor. You can have a house, a car, land, a business title, even investments, and still live under constant financial pressure. Because owning assets doesn't automatically mean you're wealthy. And today, we're going to talk about why so many people look rich on paper, but feel broke in real life. From the outside, asset ownership looks like success. A house means stability. A car means progress. A business means freedom. Investments mean you're financially smart. At least, that's what we've been taught to believe. But reality is far more complicated. Assets can either work for you or quietly drain your life without you realizing it. One of the biggest misunderstandings about wealth is the belief that more assets automatically equal more money. In truth, what matters is not how many assets you own, but how those assets behave. Do they put money into your pocket every month, or do they constantly demand money from you just to exist? That single difference separates assets that build wealth from assets that create stress. Many people proudly say they own a house, but forget to mention the mortgage, the taxes, the maintenance, the insurance, and the repairs. Every month, money flows out just to keep that house standing. If the house doesn't generate income and only consumes money, then functionally it behaves more like a liability, even if it's technically called an asset. The same thing applies to cars. A car can be useful, but it almost never produces income. Instead, it depreciates in value while demanding fuel, maintenance, insurance, and repairs. Yet many people buy cars far beyond their financial capacity, not because they need them, but because they want to look successful. Over time, the car becomes a silent financial drain that limits their ability to invest elsewhere. This is how people end up asset-rich but cash-poor. They own things, but they don't control cash flow. They have value locked in physical form, but very little money available for opportunity, emergencies, or growth. On paper, they look wealthy. In real life, they feel stuck. Another reason this happens is emotional attachment to assets. People fall in love with ownership. They attach their identity to what they own. My house, my land, my business. Letting go feels like failure, even when holding on is slowly destroying their financial health. Pride becomes more expensive than logic. A business is another common example. Many people say they own a business, but in reality, the business owns them. It requires constant presence. If they stop working, the money stops flowing. Sometimes the business doesn't even pay consistently, but it still consumes time, energy, and mental space. On paper, it's an asset. In practice, it's just another demanding job with higher stress. True wealth doesn't come from ownership alone. It comes from control, efficiency, and scalability. An asset that cannot operate without your constant involvement is fragile. It ties your income directly to your time. And when income depends entirely on your time, freedom becomes an illusion. Debt is often the hidden reason behind asset poverty. Many assets are acquired using debt, and debt always has a cost. Interest doesn't care how hard you work or how good your intentions are. It quietly eats into your cash flow every month. When too many assets are financed with debt, most of the income ends up serving the bank, not the owner. People often say they are investing, when in reality they are just collecting expenses. Each new asset comes with its own set of obligations: taxes, maintenance, management, legal fees, unexpected costs. Individually, they may seem manageable. Together, they create a financial cage. Another overlooked factor is liquidity. An asset might be valuable, but if you can't easily convert it into usable cash, it doesn't help you when you need it most. Land, property, and businesses can take months or years to sell, often at a price lower than expected. During emergencies, illiquid assets offer comfort in theory, but very little help in reality. This leads to a dangerous mindset where people feel secure because they own assets, while ignoring the fact that they have no savings, no emergency fund, and no flexibility. One unexpected event can force them to sell assets at the worst possible time, locking in losses that could have been avoided. Social pressure also plays a huge role. Society celebrates ownership without questioning sustainability. Buying a house is praised. Buying a second car is admired. Expanding a business is respected. Rarely does anyone ask whether those decisions actually improve cash flow or long-term freedom. Applause is loud, but consequences are quiet. Many people confuse net worth with quality of life. A high net worth means little if monthly stress is constant. Wealth should reduce anxiety, not increase it. If your assets keep you awake at night, they are not serving you. You are serving them. There is also a lack of financial education around asset performance. Schools and society rarely teach how to analyze whether an asset is productive or destructive. People are taught how to buy, not how to evaluate. They learn how to acquire, not how to optimize. As a result, they collect assets without strategy. Time is another invisible cost. Managing assets takes time. Dealing with tenants, repairs, paperwork, employees, suppliers, and regulations slowly consumes life energy. If the return does not justify the time spent, the asset quietly steals years of your life. Some people reach a point where all their money is tied up. They cannot invest in new opportunities because they have no cash. They cannot rest because their assets require constant attention. They cannot take risks because they are already overexposed. They are technically owners but practically trapped. True wealth is not about accumulation. It's about alignment. Assets should align with your goals, your risk tolerance, your energy level, and your desired lifestyle. An asset that works well for one person can be disastrous for another. Blindly copying others leads many people into financial structures they cannot sustain. Another uncomfortable truth is that many people use assets as an emotional shield. Ownership makes them feel accomplished, even when their financial foundation is weak. Assets become a way to avoid facing deeper money problems like poor spending habits, lack of planning, or avoidance of financial discipline. Being asset-rich but poor often comes from focusing on growth without stability. Expansion without solid cash flow is fragile. Bigger doesn't always mean better. Sometimes it just means heavier. Wealth is not built by stacking assets endlessly. It's built by ensuring each asset strengthens the whole system. Cash flow, liquidity, risk management, and flexibility matter far more than ownership count. The truly wealthy are often less visible. Their assets are boring, efficient, and quietly productive. They don't impress. They don't demand attention. They simply work. And that's the difference most people miss. So if you ever feel confused about why owning so much still feels like having so little, understand this. Assets alone do not create wealth. Structure does. Strategy does. Awareness does. Being rich is not about how much you own. It's about how much freedom your assets give you. And if your assets take more than they give, then no matter how impressive they look, you are not wealthy yet. That realization can be uncomfortable. But just like all real growth, it starts with discomfort.